The war game in Brussels, fear, debt, and the profiteering elite. In Brussels, a calculated political drama unfolds daily. Ursula von der Leyen, flanked by figures such as Emmanuel Macron, Keir Starmer, Friedrich Merz, and Giorgia Meloni, is orchestrating a campaign of fear. Citizens are bombarded with narratives designed to justify higher taxes, deeper public debt, and the expansion of state control, all while many European economies teeter on the brink of insolvency. The method is old but effective. Scare people enough, and they will consent to their own financial enslavement. The Russia factor, manufactured fear. The specter of a Russian invasion of Western Europe dominates the discourse. Headlines scream, stock markets jitter, and public anxiety rises. Yet history and context tell a different story. Russia's invasion of Ukraine did not occur in isolation. It was precipitated by years of Western pressure, NATO expansion, and repeated provocations that left Putin with few diplomatic options. In 2022, Istanbul hosted peace negotiations that could have averted escalation. Figures such as Boris Johnson, representing vested Western interests, allegedly sabotaged these talks, ensuring that war, and its attendant economic and geopolitical chaos, continued. The EU's defense dilemma. At the same time, the EU's defense capability is woefully inadequate. Current military infrastructure and equipment cannot sustain a credible fight against a major power. Rebuilding Europe's defense apparatus to a functional level would require massive investments, at a time when most member states are already deeply indebted and economically fragile. In the past, the EU counted on the United States for military support. Now, with the US itself financially overstretched and burdened by debt, that safety net is shrinking. Fear of invasion is therefore magnified, not just politically but materially. The EU is simply not ready for a real conflict. The EU leadership, complicity in war. Most EU leaders, with Hungary's Viktor Orbán as a rare exception, have demonstrated little appetite for genuine peace. Ursula von der Leyen and Emmanuel Macron, for example, have consistently advocated for prolonged sanctions on Russia, despite the resulting energy crises and skyrocketing inflation hitting their own citizens hardest. Keir Starmer in the UK has supported continued military aid to Ukraine, while Friedrich Merz and Giorgia Meloni champion rhetoric that frames conflict as a moral imperative rather than a political choice. Collectively, their actions prolong uncertainty and fear, which in turn justifies policies that deepen public debt, expand centralized control, and defer the impossible task of rebuilding credible defense forces. The bankers behind the curtain. The underlying incentive is financial. Wars, past and present, have always enriched those who control capital. Historical parallels abound. During the 18th century, European wars generated massive profits for banking families who funded military campaigns, often ensuring conflicts persisted long after any rational political objective was achieved. Today, global banks, hedge funds, and private financial conglomerates continue this pattern. By financing defense contracts, energy speculation, and sovereign debt, they extract trillions from conflicts while the general populace bears the cost in higher taxes, inflation, and social austerity. Conclusion: the anatomy of control. What unfolds in Brussels is not merely a political debate. It is a meticulously engineered power play. Citizens are manipulated through fear of foreign invasion, economic insecurity, and moral panic. Leaders present war as inevitable, obscuring the fact that many decisions are economically motivated, designed to funnel wealth upward. The EU itself is militarily unprepared, and the financial gap to rebuild credible defenses is insurmountable in the current climate. History has proven this pattern again and again. Fear, debt, and war are tools not of governance, but of profit. Until the public recognizes who truly benefits and who orchestrates the crises, the cycle will continue.